Okay, let's just make sure that I'm live here. All right, so I believe that I am live, and this will be recorded as well and posted on the website and the YouTube channel. But let's begin. So welcome to the first live Wednesday webinar after summer holidays. I'm pretty excited to be here with you ladies, those of you who can join in or watch on the replay. It's been a super awesome summer and hard to believe that we're already back to September. But with September, we come back into routine and back to live Wednesday webinars most weeks, more than not. So welcome, I'm Julie Hodge, and I am talking today about high protein foods. So this was a specially requested topic, and here you go, ask and you shall receive. So today the topic is high protein foods, and I'm gonna start talking first of all on some of the stats, talk about what and how much protein we need, and some little tips that I've put together. And from there, we're going to go and look at some special recipes for breakfasts and some special recipes for snacks and other meals. Okay. And then I'm going to help you get an idea of how to build your meals using a simple outline that I will show you. So again, welcome to the high protein foods edition of my live Wednesday webinars. I'm Julie Hodge, a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, and an advanced hormone-based fitness specialist for women. I specialize in women who are in or approaching perimenopause to share what truly works when what used to work no longer does. So, if you're watching me live, please type in live in the comments. And if you are watching this on the replay and there is the opportunity on the Facebook group to type that in, type replay in the comments so that I know that you're here or you were here. And as I go through this, if you have any questions at all, I would love for you to post them below or reach out to me directly so I can help to answer them. So just before we begin, I just want to mention that there are a few things in terms of why behind the protein that I'll talk about. So what protein is, why we need it, how much is needed. All right. So let's start with this question. Watching this right now, with whether live or on the replay, do you know what the recommendations are for women in perimenopause when it comes to protein? Do you know the number, okay, that how much protein you should be getting every single day? If you did, great. If you don't, I'm going to share some recommendations with you. So let's talk about what protein is first, okay? So why is protein important? What's it necessary for? Well, it's often described as the building block of the body, okay? Protein is used for a myriad of functions that includes maintenance, it includes repair, replacement, and rebuilding of tissues in our body. Some of our hormones are proteins, and when we eat, the enzymes needed for digestion are also themselves proteins, okay? They have a huge role to play as well in our immune system and are essential for strength, for health, and for, of course, managing our weight. They also, you may not be aware of this, give us a sense of satiety at the end of a meal. And you might not know this either, but protein and having enough of it helps to curb sugar cravings. Protein in combination with fiber, so protein high foods with fibrous rich foods, those two foods in combination give us long-term sustained energy and help to balance blood sugar. It's a win-win. So as you may already know, not all proteins are alike, okay? And we're talking about dietary proteins. So animal proteins like fish, dairy, and eggs, they're all considered in general higher quality proteins because most of those contain all 9 essential amino acids, okay? All 9 essential amino acids in the adequate amounts needed. Plant sources are also seen in general as lower quality, and that's only because many of them lack all of the essential amino acids. and they may be less efficiently absorbed. Okay, not to say that you cannot meet those protein requirements if you are a vegetarian, because you can. But the goal as a vegan or a vegetarian to get those protein requirements as a woman is that you need to choose a wide variety of protein-rich plant-based foods and combine them effectively. So a little more work goes in behind the scenes to make sure you're getting a complete protein source without animal protein sources. So planning your diet if you're a vegetarian is a really important aspect of making sure you meet your protein needs, okay? So I'd be curious, type in yes if you are, or type in protein if you get most of your proteins from animal sources. Type in plants if you are a vegan or a vegetarian and choose to get them through non-animal sources. Type that in the comments if you're watching me live, or if you're watching the replay, that'd be really handy to know. So moving on, if you're concerned and would like to find out whether you meet the necessary requirements of protein intake, then you can always book a consult call with me, certified nutrition coach, or you can look at talking with your naturopath and let her or him know about what it is you're eating, how much, and when, to get a better idea if there's any maybe missing blanks that you could fill in with other food sources. All right. So I also want to talk a little bit more that over the last few years, professionals have recommended increased and changes to the protein recommendations for women, especially the importance of regular good quality protein as we age. And that's what I'm talking about today. Researchers are definitely placing more emphasis on optimal, rather than minimal protein requirements, especially for older adults. And if you're interested in any of the sources of this, any of the research studies, where this information comes from, reach out. I'd be happy to share it with you. So what can you do to preserve muscle mass and strength? Why is it so important to do so? Well, there was a study in 2016 that proposed that preserving muscle mass and strength is a critical aspect of aging with health and vitality. That is now known to definitely be a critical aspect with aging. In fact, if you are not including proper amounts of protein and you are not including strength training into your fitness plan at this point in perimenopause, then you are skipping one of the most critical components for positive outcomes in future as you age. So even more so preserving muscle mass and strength is a critical aspect of aging with health and vitality, even more so than poor nutrition and physical activity are known to accelerate the gradual age-related decline in muscle mass and strength, which is known as sarcopenia. All right. So they go far beyond what a poor nutrition and being physically inactive can do to accelerate some of these things. Doing strength training and getting proper protein does far more and accelerates the positive side of reversing that. Okay. Researchers are all in agreement all across the board that including lifestyle changes like high quality protein at each meal in combination with physical activity that includes 2 to 3 strength focused specific workouts a week, may help to prevent or even delay the onset of sarcopenia. And that is, of course, muscle wasting, losing bone density, all of that. Okay. So including simple resistance exercises in your weekly routine is a great tool in your lifestyle prevention toolkit. Exercises like using stretch bands, resistance bands, mini bands, body weight exercises, Pilates, circuit training, strength training with dumbbells, etc., are all good examples of ways that you can use your muscles to contract against resistance and get the benefits of that strength training. And it seems that resistance training may even improve and has been shown through more studies to improve glucose levels and reduce waist circumference. Okay. And that's key. This page, my group, Fitness Over 40, is all about helping women shed belly fat, typically the more unhealthy kind. So this is key. I'm going to say it again, that it seems that and has been studied and concluded that resistance training may even improve glucose levels and reduce waist circumference. Okay. In fact, one study investigated the role of muscle strength in the prevention of developing type 2 diabetes, and it demonstrated that muscle strength may even lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 32%. That's a huge percentage. Okay. So this is just another reason to add resistance training exercises to your lifestyle plan. And if you've never done it before or starting out and you're confused, body weight is fine just to start with. Okay. And as you get stronger, you can add on from there. Developing lifestyle interventions, okay, that target preserving your muscle mass and your strength using exercise and nutrition are critical in maintaining longer, happier, and healthy lives, okay, especially women as we age. So feel free to contact me, talk with your naturopath, your doctor, if you want to further discuss your specific protein requirements, or if you want me to have a look and maybe give you an assessment of what your current eating style and eating plan is like. Okay, and again, if you want any references on any of that, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to come back here to talk through some of these slides that I've put together, okay? And we're going to take a deeper dive in. So again, just a stat, from 40 onwards, it says here our skeletal muscle mass decreases up to 8% every decade. And by the age of 60, this decrease continues to decline at a rate of 10 to 15% every 10 years. So if unchecked, let's do the math, 60, 70, 80, if left unchecked, that is 30 to 45%, if not more, loss of your muscle mass. Okay, that is kind of a scary stat if we do nothing about it. And this is where a lot of women say, I don't want to be that woman who can't get up out of her chair, who can't put away her groceries, who needs someone else to do all of her activities of daily living for her. If you want to stay able and independent, this is the time. It's not too late to start. Just get started. Okay, so I'm going to go forward here and just mention in the next slide here that regular strength training, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 times a week with good quality protein can significantly improve your muscle mass, and it can significantly change your outcomes later in life. It is never too late. And there's another really important note here that I just want to make this bigger to read, is that, just let me hide this for a minute here, that it's never too late to start. But studies have shown, and I mention this quite often in my trainings and one-on-ones, that eating protein like fish, meat, chicken, eggs, you know, whether it's animal-based or a combination of plant-based to make sure you're getting a complete protein, you know, outlook, can improve muscle protein synthesis. Interestingly, it's been found, and I call this staying above the line. It's been found that spreading the protein equally over your 3 meals a day is beneficial in stimulating that muscle protein synthesis. So it's not enough just to say, okay, well, I got my 30 grams in at breakfast. I don't need to worry about protein at lunch. Maybe I'll get a bit more at dinner. No, you want to stay above the line so that we've got 30 grams at the breakfast. Maybe we got 25, 30 to 35 grams at lunch, 25, 30, 35 or more grams at dinner. And we've stayed above the line. Each meal has given us the adequate protein intake we need, rather than here and dipping and not meeting the line. Okay, so that's something really important to keep in mind when you're meal planning, when you're looking at snacks and breakfast and everything else. Before I get into the recipes, I'm just going to tell you what those recommendations are. So in the beginning, I asked, do you know how much you need? So drop it in the comments. If you're watching me live or on the replay, I would love to know, did you know how much protein you should be eating a day? Were you aware of the number for you? Because I'm going to tell you an easy way to figure that out. Now, the minimum recommendation, and remember, earlier on, I mentioned that researchers and health professionals have gone beyond the minimum to talk about optimal. So the minimum is that 0.8 grams of protein, complete proteins, full, complete amino acid protein per 1 pound of body weight. But the ideal is 1 gram or more of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, so I am always looking at the ideal and optimal. That's what I want for myself. And again, minimum is 0.8. The final slide in this little series here is just some tips. Okay, and I have some things I'll show you, a couple things I'm going to show you. So some tips are how to make sure that you're getting that protein. Well, the first is, of course, to plan out your meals. Have a meal plan or get a meal plan and food prep regularly to make sure that you have the foods and the meals ready to get that adequate protein intake in. Have some make-ahead foods ready to grab and go. I strongly caution that those make-ahead meals or those grab-and-go meals are not highly processed and loaded with additional sugars, because that can send you in the wrong direction. Remember, we want that protein-fiber balance for blood sugar balance, satiety, and to reduce cravings and stay steady. If you're grabbing something with a lot of extra sugar, so whether it's been marketed as healthy protein or a protein bar or not, I will tell you that I would say 85 to 90%, if not more, of the protein bars out there on the market are nothing more than glorified chocolate bars. So check labels, okay? And look at the protein amounts versus the sugar, the added sugar amounts, okay? Because as a woman, I want to stick with 24 grams or less of added sugars. And I'd love to know who right now relies on protein bars for their snacks rather than preparing their own protein snacks. Don't be shy. If you are one of the ones who's used protein bars or kind of bought into that, I need a protein bar for a snack on the go, drop protein bars in the comments because I got some options for you. Okay. And they're simple, they're better for you, they're great for your protein intake, and they're going to help you have feel lastingly full, not craving at the end of the day or reaching for those poor quality foods because you haven't given your body what it needs. Another idea is protein tabs when you're low on protein input. So we all have those days. You haven't prepared, you forgot your food at home, you know you're low on protein, and you know you are when your muscles feel really small, when no matter what you do with your workouts, you don't feel like you're seeing the gains, when you are having those cravings and crashes, or when you just know that I have not had enough protein today. So there are things like perfect aminos. There are protein tablets, nothing added, no sugars, no fillers, pure amino acid proteins. These are 8 essential proteins, with L-leucine being the highest, as it should be. You can get these, and I will often, if I haven't had, let's say I haven't been near protein, but I did manage to get some veggies in for lunch, I'll take 5 of these. Boom, there is my protein need for the meal, because it's important to maintain that protein synthesis. So protein tabs, reach out to me if you have questions on that. There's a couple brands I've liked that are highly absorbable, high quality. Not all protein tabs are made equal, again, just like food. So you want to make sure you're putting the best thing in that's going to purely give you what you need and not a bunch of filler. Okay. Another thing that I've done, started to in my morning coffee, not every day, but sometimes, is I found these protein packs. I don't use the creamer, but these are 10 grams of protein. Okay. That I stick in my morning coffee, blend it up, and there you go. I just need 20 more for breakfast. Makes it a lot more doable. Okay. Sweetened with stevia, not added sugars, no chemical sweeteners that are fake. Stevia is, of course, sourced from a real plant. So that is another option there. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can add nuts or seeds to shakes, to bowls, to salads. Seeds, I should say. Pumpkin seeds, pine nuts, all these kind of things. Sunflower seeds. Amazing. Okay. Amazing. You can sprinkle your seeds to get added protein in your nut, in your shakes, in your smoothie bowls, in your salads, even in your meatballs, for example. Okay. You can put them in your casseroles, sprinkle them on. Great way to amp up that overall protein intake, especially for vegans and vegetarians. That can be super helpful. For animal-based protein eaters, we tend to be able to get enough through things like chicken, turkey, fish, but just an FYI. Okay. And finally, I mentioned a couple already. Make ahead meatballs. Always have meatballs on the go in the fridge and in the freezer for grab and go. Measure out 5 to 6 ounces of meatballs and have those ready to add to salads, to add as a main course, to add to your breakfast, to have for snacks. Okay. High quality protein powders is almost a must have for those days when you do need to throw that scoop of protein in with some spinach, in with some cucumbers, in with some berries, in with some nuts and seeds, and blend it up for a meal unto itself. Great for breakfast, for example. Also important after those strength workouts to make sure that after you've worked hard and you've pumped up the muscles, take a scoop of a really good high quality protein powder that does not bug your tummy, throw it in water, blend it up, drink it down. Great time to do that. Doesn't need to be fancy. Protein pancakes. Lots of great ideas here. And you can make ahead meatballs. You can make ahead pancakes. You can make ahead pre-portioned out protein packs in baggies to take with you no matter where you are. No excuses if you are prepared and ready. All right. So if you have any questions on those, I would love to know it. And I see that I probably have a couple comments here. I'm just going to go in and see if I am live streaming into our Facebook group. Hopefully it is live streaming. If not, I'll definitely share that this and be sure that it does come across, and I'll share that with you. Okay. So let's move on here. Let's talk about recipes. Okay. And again, I'm just going to pause quickly here and ask that if you are watching me live, please drop live into the comments. If you are watching this on a replay, please type replay in the comments. And I always love to know, what are your questions? What are some of your aha moments? Is there new information here or information that you forgot and are happy to have a reminder for? Let me know where you're at and if this information is going to be something that you can use to implement positive, healthy lifestyle change for you. Okay. So now let's move on. We're going to talk about, give me a second while I move on. Let's talk about some high protein breakfasts. All right. So here we go. And these are available to share. I can share these or post these. Let's talk high protein breakfast. I'm going to quickly go through here just to give you an idea of some great high protein ways you can start your day. You never, ever, ever want to skip breakfast for blood sugar balance, for hormone regulation, for optimal energy, for sleep, for cortisol levels. Ladies, please make sure you are not skipping breakfast. Okay. So let's look at some of these yummy recipes. And if you do want this, send me a message, comment, please send the recipes and I will reach out to you with them. But I would need you to comment in the comment section. Please send me the recipes. It'll have this nutrient guide that'll tell you what the calories are, the carbohydrates, total fat, and protein. Okay. And what the serving size is. Some need to be cooked, some don't. So look at this. And this is a combination of animal-based and vegan or vegetarian options. Win-win. So we got tomato sauce with collards and eggs. Get creative, okay? Something different. Tells you how many grams of protein. 18 grams of protein. If I were to make this, and let's just say I drink my coffee or whatever in the morning and I throw this in, I'm at 29. Close enough grams of protein. All right. What's the next delicious recipe we've got here? I'll just quickly go through here. Tex-Mex scrambled eggs, whole eggs, egg whites, you choose. But we've got 22 grams of protein here. And look at this. We've got fibrous vegetables, tomatoes. There's black beans, it looks like, in here. Yes, there is. Avocado for healthy dietary fat. Now, this is a beautiful balanced breakfast, okay? This is going to nourish you, nurture you, and sustain you so that you are not starving an hour later and reaching for something that might not be the best. Look at this. Chicken apple sausage. Super duper easy to make your own. Ground chicken breast. An apple, sage, salt, and pepper, and olive oil. Make your own. I've done these ones before. I've tried them. I can tell you, ladies, they're delicious. Okay. And 23 grams of protein in a serving of this. Okay. And this is all, I believe these are all based on 4 servings. We've got broccoli, bacon, cheddar, frittata. Who says you can't eat bacon? Who says you can't eat cheddar? Unless it does not agree with you, there is room for almost every type of food in a healthy, balanced diet. It's just looking at what you need and what does not work for you. Okay. Making sure that the bulk of your food comes from the good for you whole foods and leave a little bit for that. You just love the taste. It comforts you foods. Okay. We've got the frittata. Easy, simple to make. Here are those paleo banana pancakes. Make a bunch, double, triple, quadruple the recipe, freeze and pull out every morning for grab and go goodness. Also, they make great post-workout snacks. Now, here's one for the vegans or vegetarians. Look at this spicy tempeh breakfast sausage crumble. All right. But there's more. Yogurt and mixed berry jam parfaits. If you have an issue with lactose, choose a non-dairy alternative. There are so many out there these days. If you do, choose them plain, unsweetened. Avoid all those added sugar grams and sweeten it yourself with fresh berries or frozen berries, maybe a drizzle of honey, whatever it is. But look at this, 19 grams of protein. Okay. Great ways to start your morning. Blood orange chia pudding. Chia, again, another seed that is fantastic. Chia has a super high protein content, and it's definitely one of my go-tos to add to smoothies, to add to bowls, whatever. And then we've got your general standard protein smoothie. So again, always good to have a high protein iso whey or pea protein or whatever it is on hand at home. Always good idea to throw those in your smoothies as well. And look at this, we got 20 grams of protein there. Okay, so with a little, planning and preparation and creativity, just having that information, you can start to get that protein synthesis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So let's close that one and look at some other high protein recipes for you. Okay, so we've got, of course, your good old fashioned. I love cottage cheese with blueberries and hemp seeds. All right, lots of different options here for the vegetarian, vegan, or animal lover alike. So here you go. And again, you can get cottage cheese these days that has lactose-free versions if the lactose bothers you. Chocolate fudge shakes, more breakfast ideas here. Chicken sausage, kale skillet. My favorite are the chicken sausages, the spalumbos, or sometimes at your grocery store, they have their own in-house chicken sausage versions. lower calories, but high protein, purity, pure food. You can actually, what I love to do is if I don't want to eat the sausage, I'll just take a knife, peel the skin of the sausage and crumble the rest up to use for breakfast burritos, in salads, what have you. Lettuce wraps like this and so on. All right. Here we got some lettuce wraps. Look at this protein. 40 grams of protein in a serving. Amazing. And it is amazing what swapping out the bun can do by swapping it for lettuce wrapped instead. Okay, you're getting a little more moisture from water. You're getting a little more fiber from a leafy green. Delicious. We've got a few more to go through here. My daughter's peeking. We've got a turkey herb burger, homemade, of course. Look at that. A delicious spinach and tomato sheet pan frittata. Can you please close the door, honey? Yep.
Can I have a lollipop from the cupboard?
Yeah. And then we've got some salmon with spinach. So many delicious things here. Using spaghetti squash instead of noodles. Look at this. 38 grams of protein for one serving. Amazing. And last but not least here, one more meal to show you. High protein rosemary focaccia. Okay, so you can make your own. The recipe is right here. Delicious. Whole foods, high quality value nutrients and vitamins. This is a win-win. Now, the other thing that I've put together, as I promised, is I want to give you a quick way to build a daily menu, a quick way to look at whether you're getting all the things in on a day-to-day basis that you need. So here is a sample, okay? I put this together for you. Let's start back here. We're going to start here. We're going to start with seasonings. So this is a guide. So you can follow this for a weekly focus on foods that you can use from what you have in your kitchen and your pantry and your freezer to create your meals. Change the items in each category based on your own personal eating style and preferences, okay? And swap for similar foods week to week. For example, if you don't like kale, replace it with another leafy green like romaine or bok choy, spinach, what have you. Say you have a nut allergy, replace almonds with hemp seeds, okay? Search meal plans for recipes you're comfortable with, and then pull them all into this planner. So I'll explain what the numbers mean. Servings. So every day, 6 servings of vegetables, 5 servings of whole grains or starches, 4 servings of fruit, 3 proteins. Again, breakfast, lunch, dinner minimum, 2 servings of dietary fat, and a seasoning, okay, per meal. So this is really handy. So here you can look at, what am I going to have for this? What am I going to have for a dressing? What am I going to have as a seasoning blend? Then let's move on because we're going to fill it in as we go here. There is options like filling in the fats. Okay, so this would be, let's say 1 week. I'm going to use sunflower seeds and walnuts. These are my proteins, a mix of animal and plant-based or vegan. These are the fruits I have on hand or will buy. And these are the starches and whole grains I'm going to use and have on hand. Okay. And then of course your vegetables. Let's look at a different sample. Oh, and here you can fill in other meal plan recipes. This is where you can put the recipes in yourself. And these are the convenience items that you might want to have. Okay. For life hacking things, because there's a lot of them out there now. All right. Here's another example. So we've got different seasonings, different dressings, different fats and proteins, different suggested meal plan recipes. This is a great template to start learning what it looks like in terms of what you need to create meals all week long. Let's talk about the grains and beans here again. Look at this. Okay, grains, beans, starches, fruits, proteins, fat, seasonings. So every week you could do this and swap things out. The possibilities are endless. Okay, so if you're already like, oh, I could use this, great, reach out. I can let you see these and you can play around and create your own. All right. So I really hope that information was helpful. Again, if you're watching me live, I'm just going to shut this down here. If you're watching me live or you join me live, I'd love it if you type live. If you're watching the replay, type replay. If you want the recipes, please type recipes in the comments. I would love that, or reach out. It'll take me a day or two to gather these and make sure that I send them to you, or I may just end up putting them in the group as a guide. But if you have any questions, if anything resonated, or if you want some one-on-one support, because maybe it's time for you and you want to make sure you have a plan that works going into the fall and winter, I'm here for you. Okay. Thank you so much for watching or coming in on the replay, guys. I really appreciate you. Stay tuned. Let's have some fun for the rest of September with our daily movement, and be well, live well, and move well. Have a great day.